Power English.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Cho.
And I'm Cameron Word.
Oh, thank you so much for tuning in. It is Tuesday, and that means we are traveling to Patagonia.
Yeah.
Cameron, I don't know if I asked you this question, but do you have any desire to go to Argentina, Patagonia?
I mean, if someone paid for me to go, I would not decline the offer.
Well, free trips. Who would decline?
Actually, no, I think I would like to go to... I've never been to South America.
Yeah, me too.
So that would be a new part of the world to go to.
Agreed.
Patagonia, I would have to research how difficult it is. I'm sure it's beautiful.
Right. It's a bit of I do feel that there's a little bit adventure involved. Trekking is involved.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's for just anyone who maybe prefers a resort. It's not that kind of trip.
Yeah. It'd have to be under a certain difficulty level.
Yes.
Like, even if I got a free trip to Mount Everest, I don't know if I would take it. You know?
I know.
That's a big commitment. So if it's a bit easier than that,
yeah.
I think maybe I would go.
Free trip to Mount Everest. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
How can you? Yeah, I'm sorry. No, thank you.
I wouldn't go.
No.
Anyway,
Okay.
but today, Patagonia.
All right.
We are going further into the mountains.
Yes, so they finally arrived at El Calafate, and they are going to see some famous glaciers. And, Cameron, check this out. They're going to a petrified forest. Now, the word petrified is spelled Petrified, and that's our power vocab today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically a forest where the trees become hard. They become like stones.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's because of their age, and I think also maybe something to do with fire and heat.
Yeah.
It changes the wood into stone.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to learn more about that. Here are some expressions that we're going to cover. Off the beaten path.
This is not the main road or a place where people often go. It's kind of somewhere else, where a lot of people do not go. Maybe it's difficult to get to.
Okay. How about jumping off point? Actually, that is actually our subtitle. It's a great jumping off point.
This is similar in meaning to a starting point. Where you can start. You may go somewhere else, but you can start here.
Okay. And if you settle in,
you are gonna get comfortable. Maybe you were traveling and now, okay, let's make a camp, or let's take all of our luggage and get out all of our clothes. We're gonna get comfortable and stay a little while.
Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and listen to our travel dialogue.
Have you ever seen a place so wild and beautiful?
I love that El Calafate is off the beaten path, yet still popular among nature lovers.
It's a great jumping off point for people who want to explore the glaciers and the petrified forest.
What are we going to do first?
Well, our trip to Perito Moreno Glacier isn't until tomorrow, so why don't we settle in at the hotel and then explore the town?
That sounds great. I saw a steakhouse as we were arriving on the bus, if you're hungry.
Please join us on page 68. Our power dialogue is there. Okay. Paul begins. Have you ever seen a place so wild and beautiful? And Madison says, I love that El Calafate is off the beaten path, yet still popular among nature lovers. So this town is actually off the beaten path. So if you go somewhere, especially when you're traveling, and it is off the beaten path, it is not the normal, typical path.
Yes.
That you find tourists in.
Right. It's not the common place that people travel to. Maybe there are locals that live there, but for anyone that is visiting for a while, maybe they're not going to El Calafate. So it just feels feels small. It feels a little private.
Yeah.
Difficult to get to often.
Right. I think that people who enjoy adventures often seek off the beaten paths when they're traveling. They don't like the typical touristy places. And and there's so much with over-tourism. Maybe it's not such a bad idea to go off the beaten path.
Yeah.
But you do have to do your research.
I think nowadays it's really hard to find anywhere that is truly off the beaten path.
I have to agree.
With the internet,
Yeah.
every small little town now
Right.
has tourists going to it.
That's it, because you have all this information, whereas maybe 20, 30 years ago, you only had a book.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So what does Paul say?
It's a great jumping off point for people who want to explore the glaciers and the petrified forest.
Okay. So it's a great jumping off point. Jumping off here is an adjective. So it's jumping hyphen off.
Yeah.
Okay. Jumping off point.
This is the place where you start from. And we often use it with traveling.
Yes.
Talking about this is the place I will start my journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You may go to many different places, but I'm going to start here. This is my jumping off point.
Okay. So this is a great jumping off point for people who want to explore the glaciers and the petrified forest. So El Calafate is a great jumping off point.
Yes.
This is where they gather and this is where they go to see the glaciers and the petrified forest. Have you ever been to a petrified forest?
No, isn't there one in Utah or Nevada?
There's one in Arizona.
That's what I'm thinking of, Arizona.
Yeah,
Have you been?
No, I have not been.
I've seen pictures, and it's a tree that is now a rock.
It's so, yeah.
Yeah. In Korean, petrified forest is hwasongnim.
Okay.
I don't know if there is one in Korea or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're very, I don't know,
It's hard
mysterious.
to explain, huh?
Yeah.
So, listeners, if you get a chance, go ahead and do a search and type in petrified forest, and you get an idea of what it's like.
It's cool.
It
This
is cool.
other word for petrified, so the original meaning is to become rock. But we also use it to mean scared.
Very scared.
Yeah, you are so scared you cannot move.
Yeah.
You are as still as a rock. You're
Right.
petrified.
Yeah. So, terrified, petrified, those are very, very scary. Okay. So then Madison says, what are we going to do first? And Paul says, well, our trip to Perito Moreno Glacier isn't until tomorrow. So why don't we settle in at the hotel and then explore the town? Okay, so Perito Moreno Glacier isn't until tomorrow. Until tomorrow is our power pattern.
Yeah. So until tomorrow is saying it's not happening now.
Okay.
It will only begin tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Right?
Okay.
So you could just have said tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if you put the until here, until tomorrow, you're saying, not today. There's nothing we can do about it. You're emphasizing today, not available.
Okay, yes.
Don't even think about it.
Okay, all right. So it's used more to emphasize the fact that it's not today.
Yeah. It's tomorrow, so today we're free.
Yes, yeah. The store isn't open until tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we can't go. Right, so it is an emphasis.
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we settle in at the hotel? Isn't it true when you travel, you get to the airport and then you check in and you want to settle into your hotel?
Yeah, I think there are two types of people that they go to the hotel and they take their clothes out of their suitcase.
Yes.
And they put them in the drawers.
All right.
In the hotel room.
Yes.
And there are other people that don't ever.
Yeah.
Which are you?
That's me.
You don't. I leave my clothes in my suitcase as well.
Yeah.
My mother completely cleaned out our suitcases.
Really?
Put everything in the drawers.
Wow.
Because she wanted to feel like she was at home.
Oh my.
She wanted to settle
in big time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I hardly, maybe for jackets, I hang.
Yeah, you put the jackets in the closet.
That's right. But all the other stuff, they remain in the luggage. For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, to settle in. So wherever you go, and like, okay, just settle in. It's kind of like, get comfortable.
Yeah.
Get used to the new situation or the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can settle in at a baseball stadium.
Yeah.
You first get to the game.
Right.
You find your seat.
You find your seat. Yeah.
You take off your jacket. You get out your fried chicken. You get
your beer.
You make sure you have your drinks.
Yeah.
You put it everywhere you want it.
Yeah.
And then you can start watching the game.
That's right.
That's settling in for the game.
Settling in.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so Madison says, that sounds great. I saw a steakhouse as we were arriving on the bus if you're hungry. Looks like someone is going to have steak. Let's go ahead and listen to that one more time.
Have you ever seen a place so wild and beautiful?
I love that El Calafate is off the beaten path, yet still popular among nature lovers.
It's a great jumping off point for people who want to explore the glaciers and the petrified forest.
What are we going to do first?
Well, our trip to Perito Moreno Glacier isn't until tomorrow, so why don't we settle in at the hotel and then explore the town?
That sounds great. I saw a steakhouse as we were arriving on the bus if you're hungry.
Okay, it's time for a power note. We're on pages 70 and 71. If you are off the beaten path, it means that you are away from the typical, usual, popular places that people go to when you're traveling. Where do you want to go after work?
I found a small cafe off the beaten path that has the best coffee. So here, maybe it's not in the countryside.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just in a part of the city that a lot of people don't go to.
Right.
Or maybe just in a little alleyway. It could be a busy part of the city, but no one goes down that alleyway.
Right.
It's kind of hidden. It's off the beaten path.
Yes, that's right. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to Patagonia or going to the Himalayas,
Yeah.
It just means that it's a place where people really don't typically go to. Okay. Their vacation destination was off the beaten path, far from the crowds.
Those are sometimes the best vacations. Just go out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. It's interesting because there's a very famous travel writer, and I heard an interview, and he wrote this book, and he has a blog. So it's kind of like, he was a travel writer for, don't go to like Rome, the big city. Try this place. So now all those places that were off the beaten path are no longer off the beaten path.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So
what do you do?
To be honest,
Yeah.
it is, if you want to go see the thing, you want to go see the Eiffel Tower,
Yeah.
you want to go see Santorini,
Yes.
all of those things, great. But you cannot expect other people not to be there.
Yeah.
Everyone in the world has had the same idea that you've had.
So if you're going to go, just know what you're getting yourself into. That's it.
Yeah, you don't go to Yeouido for the 벚꽃 축제
Yeah.
and be like, I wanted to be the only person looking at cherry blossoms.
Why is everyone here?
It just comes with the territory.
Yes.
Like, unfortunately.
I think that's a good attitude to have.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Okay. Jumping off point is basically the starting point. This internship is a great jumping off point for a career in marketing.
You were lucky to get it. I heard 500 people applied.
Yeah.
So here, jumping off point, we talked about it being a starting point for a journey. And if you think of your career as a journey, this definitely makes sense. You're going to start here. You don't know where you'll end up, but this is a good place to start from.
And isn't it true that people who start at EBS, we usually start as a reporter? That's kind of our jumping off point.
Yeah, I was a reporter at Morning Special.
Me too.
Was it Morning Special as well?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I was their daily news reporter.
Oh, I
you
wasn't even
believe it?
daily.
Oh, really?
I was one day a week. I was Thursdays at 7 a.m.
I didn't ask for it to be daily.
Wow.
And it was daily. But then one thing led to another, and then I got a co-host position with Steve Jung for Power English. After that. Oh, such a long time ago.
Yeah.
So we all have our jumping off points. The city is a perfect jumping off point for exploring nearby mountains.
So this is often whenever maybe you're going to have like a home base, so to speak.
Yeah.
You're going to stay in this city, but one day you're going to go north. The next day you're going to go south.
Yeah.
Then you're going to west. So you're just using that as a basic place to leave from quite often.
Okay, very good. So jumping off point. So you kind of start at that point for more exploration, do more things, but that's kind of like the center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah. And then you start from there. Okay. Settle in means to become comfortable in a new place or situation. I keep getting lost just walking around my neighborhood.
Once you settle in, everything will start to become more familiar. Yeah.
So, of course, you and I both, we came to Korea. In the beginning, we had to settle in. It was a new country, new place to sleep, new job, right?
I didn't have sheets on my bed.
Oh
I had you've got so many things you got to buy whenever you not only move to another house, but to another country.
Yeah, that's a big adjustment.
Yes, it is.
All right. It took a few weeks for Sarah to settle in at her new job.
So here, maybe it isn't comfort in a physical sense. This is maybe more about learning how the office works.
Yeah.
Where everything is, who to talk to, where to eat lunch. That concept of settling in.
Right. And also, maybe you entered a master's program or a PhD program. You're in graduate school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes time to settle in.
Yeah.
You can be familiar with the city. Okay. All right. Until tomorrow is our power pattern.
So here, the until tomorrow is really focusing on not today, only tomorrow.
Only tomorrow. Okay. My paper isn't due until tomorrow, so I still have time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank goodness it's not due today.
Yes.
I don't think I can wait until tomorrow.
I want tomorrow to be today.
Yeah. I need it today.
Yes, that is the emphasis. Okay, power vocab today is the word petrified, and we're talking about petrified wood. And this may seem new to our Power English listeners, so if you want to see a picture of petrified forest or wood, check it out, okay? Do check out the definition, though, on page 72, and also stop by
Audio Ohakdang.
For a small fee, you can listen to our show again and again, along with a lot of other great programs. Okay, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.